Hello, hello. This is your boy. This is your boy. That's so like that is so old school. I'm telling my age. This your boy coming through, you know. Yeah, I came here today. Coming here today for another ID to inspire dialogue. Um, so this dialogue was expired by an interview with Angela Means from the movie Friday. I found the conversation enlightening as it focused on how food is killing us. I'm going to link the video below so that you all can check it out yourself if you have an interest. But listening to the interview, it was she was saying a lot of things that things that I believe in, things that I have been practicing, especially when it comes to having a diet consist of, I don't even want to say a diet, but just eating a raw food diet, I guess diet, eating raw foods, and the importance of raw foods. I can say that I have been at this for, let's say, almost a year. Almost a year. I remember, I felt like in my life, I've always been the type to kind of shy away from things that were popular. As a child, I didn't like cheese. And I remember feeling bad about it because everyone else liked it, but I didn't. Like my nieces, all of them enjoyed grilled cheeses. A lot of the people in my family, or the household that I grew up in, enjoyed grilled cheese sandwiches, and I did not care for cheese. I didn't even like the smell of it. Okay, let me say this. I would eat pizza. I could eat pizza, and I could eat macaroni and cheese, but I was kind of picky about it in the sense that, like, the cheese flavor had to be very subtle for me to actually try to enjoy it. But, so I'll just say it started out with cheese and milks. I say as a teenager, 17, 18, 19, I began getting myself away from whole milk. I don't even remember exactly what my reasoning was, but it was just something that happened. But, I just weaned myself off the whole milk, going to 2% milk. I remember I tried 1% milk, and 1% milk was like the cutoff for me because I tried skim milk and was not a fan of it. I do not like skim milk. And I'll say that eventually led me to just drinking almond milk. I would replace all milks with almond milk. And I used to be a big fan of yogurts. I loved Greek yogurt. That was another thing that, I just saw myself moving away from. I say fast forward to 2 years ago, I really took an interest in veganism, even being a vegetarian. Just continue. I really wanted to eliminate meat from my diet. And I just love this conversation about food because it's complex. I want to say it's simple too. It's just that a lot of us are unaware, and she even says that in the interview. Excuse me, about how education would really benefit us. You know, we, a lot of us are just completely oblivious to what food actually is, to what food really is. I was having a conversation with a coworker. You know, a lot of times they see me with my fruits and stuff, and she was saying that she was inspired to, you know, eat more fruits. And, you know, we got into the conversation and she asked me, like, why did I start? And I was saying, you know, before doing this, I didn't really give much thought to food. It was just like, okay, this is what I have a taste for. This is what I want. This is what I'm craving. This is what I'm going to get. But starting to implement more, or just introducing more fruits into my diet, starting to fast. I remember I would never fast. And I remember that was a big thing in religion. And I was just like, nah, I would not fast, you know? But with this food, it was just like, we got to make some changes, man. We got to do some things that are different. So I began, you know, doing intermittent fasting. I think I've done like a day where I would fast, but I haven't done anything like extreme as far as fasting. I say the most extreme thing I have done is just like intermittent fasting, like all week, you know, every day, just having a window from 12 to 8 p.m. Where I would eat. And when I was on this really, I say really strict, because I'm going to come back to that. I lost a lot of weight. And I say I was 170 pounds before switching up, you know, introducing fasting and eating more fruits, and eating fruits, let me say that. Eating more fruits. What was I saying? Okay, I was 170 pounds. Right. Okay, I was 175. That's 170 pounds when I started. And when I was doing, I say like for a good month, I was really good. And I lost 25 pounds, almost 30 pounds. I had got down to 140. And it was a bit alarming for me. And you know, it was a bit alarming in a sense. Like, one part of me was alarmed because I'll say for a majority of my life, I have been a very skinny guy. And putting on weight was something that I always wanted to do. My highest weight, I had got to 193 pounds. I was really into the gym, and I was taking a lot of protein shakes. I was really taking a lot of protein, whey protein. And so, I mean, I did like the size, of course, but I really didn't feel good about how I was achieving that. So, and I said that in the sense that getting bigger and just getting to a heavier weight was a goal of mine. So when I started to lose weight, well, when I lost the weight, and you know, I'm looking at my body and I'm just like, I'm already a skinny guy. You know, I'm a lot smaller, and so like a part of me was alarmed, and a part of me was like, you know, this is a part of the process. You know, I listened to a lot of Dr. Morse, you know, and from a lot of his videos, I came to the conclusion that the reason why I was losing weight like that was because I was malnourished. I wasn't, well, malabsorbed. I was not absorbing all the nutrients from whatever it is that I'm consuming. So on one hand, like it was a voice in my head. I was just like, bro, like you mad small right now. And like it really, really challenged me. It really, really challenged me in my mind and how I thought about weight and just how I thought about myself and like getting to a new place of acceptance for where I was. And like a lot of people, I'll say this too, a lot of people would comment on the fact that I had lost a lot of weight, especially because I'm already a small guy, a skinny guy, let me say that. And that really, really fucked with me, man. Like it really, really did. I would just constantly like really try to like top myself up and be like, you're doing this for a reason. And of course it's not gonna look exactly how you want it to, especially right now. This is the process of transitioning. So and while I'm here, let me say that with the fasting and even challenging myself, because there comes the cravings and just the programming and the attachments that come to eating foods that that are not good for you. Um, but in doing that and being challenged in that way, and me like doing it. I'm not gonna say I was perfect, but there were days where I can honestly say that I have eaten more fruit in the last 2 years than I have in my whole life. I have really, and I'm really proud to say that, and I want to continue to keep saying that. Like next year. But and that's another thing too. That I want to get back to as far as getting to going through the process and allowing yourself, being gentle with yourself during the process. We definitely have goals that we want to do, that we want to achieve, and milestones that we want to reach. And a lot of times things don't necessarily go exactly how we have them planned. So, and sometimes we could just want to take on too much. So this process has also taught me, the discipline, with the fasting and knowing that I can challenge myself. That was really big for me, and it also something just distracted me. Hold on. It also taught me about just being gentle with myself, having grace for myself on this journey, and hell, this journey is not going to be over until I die. So there's no need in me saying like, oh, this destination has to be at this age, or I have to do this by this time. A lot of times I wouldn't even want to come on here and talk about this food journey because I felt like I needed to be perfect in it. Like the only time I can come on here and talk about, eating fruits is if I'm just sticking to the whole plan I and just being like, oh, I only eat fruits and that's all I eat. Eventually that is where I want to get to, but until I get there, grace. That has been a big, big thing, because I've also learned that trying to do something good for yourself can be harmful in a way to where it's just like the moment that you make a mistake, you really beat yourself up, you know. And there's been plenty of times where I've had to remind myself, like, Ryan, you're doing a lot better than you were last year. You have made changes, you know, you are doing things, you know, and of course I know you want to do more, but there were plenty of times where I really had to acknowledge or just reacquaint myself with what I have been doing, you know, instead of just being so focused on, oh, yeah, you know, I ate fruit all week, and on Saturday I had a burger and some fries, or I just had some food that wasn't fruit, you know. And there's been plenty of people, like my friends, who have also helped me in this way, because they would also point out, saying like I would be, you know, very, very hard on myself. And so this journey has taught me grace, you know, grace for myself and grace for other people, because all of us want to make changes, you know, and this is not to take away from the hard work that you have to put in, but sometimes you are going to really need help. Sometimes you are really going to struggle. You know, sometimes you are going to fail. Sometimes you're going to fall. And that's okay, you know. So that was really, really big for me, because, you know, this is a goal of mine. This is something that I'm working towards. And, you know, I would sometimes just really beat myself up when I would fall. You know, and of course, this is just not to say I just want to fail, I just want to fail, I just want to fail. But at the same time, you know, set your goals, you know, but when you do fall, just pick yourself up. You know, be gentle with yourself while you're on the ground, and pick yourself back up. But, yeah. So, and let me go back to the whole discipline. Doing the fasting, you know, dealing with cravings, you know, dealing with routines of, you know, I wake up in the morning, I right before I go into work, I pass by all these different restaurants and I pick up something on the way. And like I said, attachments and, you know, emotional attachments, you know, just being with a certain person, or thinking about a certain person, you know, you think of food attachments that you have, you know, like food that you ate together and food that you enjoyed together, you know. A big one is, you know, like your mother's cooking, or the cooking that you experienced as a child, you know, and just how that was nurturing, and how you can tether yourself to it, you know, tether yourself to eating the food just because of a memory, just because of an emotion, you know. And another thing that I learned was emotional eating. You know, like a lot of times I wouldn't even be hungry. I would just want to distract myself. And so I would go and eat something that wasn't fruit. And I'll say, let me talk about some benefits, like things that really encourage me and keeps motivating me to continue on this journey, which is how I feel when I'm eating fruits. I can definitely say that my sleep improves so much. I think I have some type of sinus issues, you know, and when I am not just eating fruit, I have a lot of congestion in my head, to where my ears get clogged a lot, you know, or I just have like this post-nasal drip. And so when I'm eating fruits, my breathing is so much better. Like I can enjoy a night of sleep, you know. It is it makes me feel really good when I go to sleep, because when I'm not when I do eat things that are other than fruit, it's very hard for me to breathe at night, especially when I'm laying down. You know, my nose is really congested to where I have to breathe through my mouth. You know, and I wake up in the morning, I got all this stuff around my mouth because I'm mouth breathing. You know, and it just really gets me really, really clogged. It gets me really clogged up. And my energy levels are improved as well. I'll say that my senses are, they improve, especially my sense of smell. You know, like you can smell stuff from a mile away when you're on fruits, and you don't smell. Like I realized that my scent, my personal scent, my pheromones, um, they improve as well. You know, digestion. That's another one too that really, really improves. Um, I will say that I did go through phases of like when I first started grapes, because Dr. Morris, he promotes a lot of, grapes. The darker, the better. Um, and so when I started eating a lot of grapes, that didn't agree with my stomach either. And so I would get bouts of, diarrhea and just diarrhea, loose stool, you know what all that entails. Um, I'll say with smoothies, if I do smoothies, sometimes I get a bit bloated or gassy. Um, but yeah, first eating grapes and cherries, because I remember I had went on like a little stint on with cherries, and I was just um, excuse me. And anybody near I can't say that. I can say that the Publix where I am in West Palm Beach, Florida, they currently have them $3.99 a pound, so that's really, really good. Um, but anyway, when I would eat the cherries, they would also affect me in the same way to where I would have a lot of diarrhea. And this is when I first eat them. I'll say like within a week, I adjust to them and I'm able to eat them without having all those issues. Um, but they definitely do make you regular, which aids with digestion and I'm to a point to where yes, I do stray back. I have my moments where I'm going through something and I just want to emotionally satisfy myself, so I reach for some food. Um, but I can honestly say that I can no longer to go back to the S.A.D diet, the standard American diet, and just stay there and be okay with that. Like I'm at a point to where yes, I may indulge, and I even may hang out for a little minute, but I know that I can't get comfortable. I'm always going to find myself going back to fruits because I know that fruits are going to make me feel good, and yeah, I wanted to keep this 20 minutes, but we're at 24. So I'm gonna continue this conversation. Again, I know that this was an inspired dialogue, from the interview. I will link that below, and I'll catch you later. Peace.